Hi friends, Carissa Kurowski here with Glow in the Dark, and today I'm doing this video because you might be lying to yourself, and today it's time to tell the truth. You may have realized sitting home alone or with your family, being stuck in your house on quarantine, that you're not okay. You may have realized that you have anger issues, or you are not a good stay at home parent, or you're really depressed, or a number of revelations that can happen when you're stuck in one place with only your thoughts. I think it's totally normal if you are starting to think about things and question things, and this is a really good time. I'm not saying we all have time on our hands because a lot of us are still just as busy at home as we were at work or whatever. If you're a stay at home parent, then you were already the same amount of busy. But this is a good time to be reflective. Staying home has this, I think, ability to kind of pull things out of us that maybe we didn't know were there. If you have an addictive personality, this is a really bad time for your spouse to bring home gallons of ice cream because you're going to be lusting after all of that food and or alcohol or whatever it is that you are maybe struggling with. So now is a really good time to think about ways that you can improve your mental health, to take care of yourself, and to really recognize what's going on. So I'm just going to give 2 tips today from someone who has been in recovery from mental illness. The first one is if you're realizing these things about yourself or there's some really uncomfortable stuff coming to the surface, good. It's good because you may have some issues and not realize how bad it is. And until you can really admit to yourself, like, oh shit, I have a problem, you're not going to be able to move forward and you're not going to be able to find solutions to what's going on with you. And I know it's such a cliche saying, like, the first step is admitting you have a problem. But it is. It really is. You have to know the depth of what's going on with you. And if you're like many people, you may have shoved that down and just told yourself that you're fine when you're really, really not. Or that you were handling things well when maybe you were on the verge of just utter collapse. So recognize that now and realize that it's okay. You will be able to move forward, especially if you know the extent of what you're dealing with. And secondly, I really want you to do good self-care. This could be anything. I don't want to box anybody in. So I'm just going to say you need to do something that helps you. And the key to this is to recognize your victories, no matter how small. I have created a video on this before. You are going to take tiny steps, not baby steps, tiny steps. Any victory you can think of is a victory. If it's I got out of bed today, if it's I didn't call myself fat 50 times today, if it's I made dinner or I put on makeup today, whatever it is, instead of putting yourself down, you need to celebrate. Hear that again. Instead of putting yourself down for what you didn't do, you need to celebrate. And I give you permission to celebrate any itty bitty victory. I know that's hard. I've been there. I'm doing it right now where I want to tell myself how bad I'm doing and failing at everything and how I'm not doing anything right. And again, reminder to myself as well, this is a time to celebrate small victories. And if you can't recognize them as a victory, do some work, write things down, write down your gratitude list, things that you're grateful for, write down everything you did today. Don't judge it, just without judgment, write down things that you did and find a way. I know this is hard. Find a way to be okay, to be happy with at least one of those things. Find a way to compliment yourself on at least one of those things. So, those are my 2 little tips for telling yourself the truth, and maybe one step you can take towards self-care in this time. And don't be afraid of yourself, because you're the only one there at the end of the day in your mind. And that relationship with yourself is the number one thing you have to heal, and the number one thing you have to welcome and make better. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and stay safe and work on your self-care.